Let's take a look at this bracelet. We'll be attaching one of these pre-made clasps that have a silicone slider on them so you can wear it tight on your wrist. But before we do that, this is what it will end up looking like after you get the 3 components made and put together. I love the way the 4mm pearls and chatons really give it a lot of sparkle, and the bugle beads add a great framework for everything. You can also mix it up and just use pearls and bicone crystals. It's a very versatile pattern. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm Sherry here at the Little Beading Closet. Let's look at the supplies. You will need 8 4mm pearls, size 15 seed beads, and I do like to get a color to match the pearl. Size 11 seed beads. These are the 3mm bugle beads, and the 8mm chaton that I'm using is a Krakowski crystal satin chaton with a nice deep point. This chaton and all the other beads used in this tutorial came from Eureka crystal beads. To see more beads that made it into my Designer's Picks Girlfriend Getaway video on Eureka Crystal Beads YouTube channel, just check out the link in the video description. I used 36 inches of beading thread for each component. Today it was Fireline and an 8-pound crystal. The first beads that we pick up form this center square here in the back. You will need 4 of the bugle beads, and go ahead and bring those down near the end of your thread, and then needle back through the first one and just pull them together, forming a square. Next, let's put a size 11 between each bugle bead. Pick up a size 11 and just come into the next bugle bead and pull that until it comes right between those. Give it some good tension. Continue all the way around with the size 11 seed beads between the bugle beads, just pulling it into the corner each time, and then one more seed bead back through the bugle bead that you started with, and then pull on the tail thread and your working thread to get a nice shape, and then step into the size 11, bringing your thread through, and then pick up 5 more size 11s, come back through the one that your thread is exiting, and that will form a little loop on top of the one there. We're going to do that on each corner, so I'll let you go ahead and put one set of 5 seed beads on each corner. On the second corner, repeating that again. On the third corner, coming through a bugle bead and seed bead, 5 more. Now we're going to advance the thread through the bugle bead up here to this point, coming through the bugle bead, the size 11 that sits between 2 bugle beads, needle up 2 of the size 11s, and then I'm going to hold this in my hand and then needle through this one here at the end of this group of size 11 seed beads. For the next step, you'll pick up 4 size 11 seed beads and needle through the end of each group. Again, repeat that with 4 size 11 seed beads, needling through the end of the next group, pulling that tight. 4 more, needling through the end. You can see that this forms a little cup shape, and that will end up holding the chaton right here in the middle. Let's remove it for the moment. So go ahead and pick up 4 more seed beads, and make sure that you needle through the seed bead here at the point, just like we've been doing. And you can pull your little cup together quite a bit, and then sit the chaton inside. Hold it down with your finger and really pull that around. And it's going to seem a little loose, so let's go ahead and retrace this top row by coming through the 4 seed beads that we added, pulling it tight through the 11 that sits here. Again, needle through the 4 that you added, through the 11, come through the 4 that I added, through the 11, through the 4, and the 11. It's really cinched in quite a bit, but we're going to finish it up with some size 15 seed beads. Come through the 4 that you just added. This time we're going to be skipping the 11 where it's attached from the bottom to the top, and pick up one size 15 and go through the next 4. So this time we're only going through the 4s and skipping that one 11 that connects the top to the bottom and putting a little 15 there. But you don't want it to sit out here on the edge, you want it to sit on top of the crystal. So again, one size 15, skip the 11 that connects it from the top to the bottom, and go through the next 4. Make sure that the 15 sits on top of the crystal. Hold it in place and pull that tight. You should be perfectly in line to skip over the next 11. That should be the one that connects the top to the bottom. And then you're going to take your 15 and come through the next 4. And just make sure that the 15 sits on top of the crystal. And we're only putting 4 15s on top of this crystal chaton. So again, we're going to pick up 1, skipping this next 11, which is the one that connects it to the bottom, and coming through the next 4. And I'm going to retrace this thread path along the 4 size 11s and the 15, the 4 11s and the 15, coming back around one time. After retracing the top and exiting just before a size 15, drop down and come through the size 11 underneath it. Coming down 2 more size 11s, flipping it over, and then needle through the size 11 between the 2 bugle beads, and then pick up 4 more bugle beads and needle back through the size 11 that your thread is exiting. And now we're going to add a size 11 between each bugle bead. So needle through 1 bugle bead, picking up an 11, coming through the next, 1 more 11 through the next bugle bead, and then pull that tight into the corner, 1 more size 11 through the next bugle bead, pulling that tight into the corner, and then come back through the size 11 between the 2, and then I'm going to flip it over. So now we're going to work on putting a pearl here. Come up through the bugle bead and the size 11, going away from your center stone. Pick up a 15, a pearl, and 1 more 15. Needle through the 11 here, headed back towards the center stone. So the pearls and seed beads sit on top of the square of bugle beads that you made. And then needle back through your 15 pearl and the other 15. Come back through the 11, away from the center. Come through the next bugle bead. You can skip the seed bead on the end. Come through the next bugle bead. skip the seed bead again, come through the next bugle bead, and back through the size 11 where they're connected. So let's turn this over. Now that we have a chaton in the middle and one of the pearls set on top of a square of bugle beads, let's turn this over one more time. We're going to do this 3 more times on this size 11 and those 2. So just needle through this bugle bead here and come up to this 11. And then repeat the process of adding one of the square bugle bead units with a pearl on top. And you can complete that for here and the next 2 seed beads. After you finish adding the 4 pearls on top of the squares of bugle beads, you should be exiting one of the size 11s at the base of the bugle beads. We're almost finished. Needle up through 1 bugle bead, and then you have 4 pearls left, and you'll be placing one between each gap here along the edge. Needle down the bugle bead towards the center, pulling the pearl into place. Step through the size 11 seed bead, and then alternate. Repeat that for each side, needling up the bugle bead, and then placing this pearl in the gap by coming down this bugle bead here, and then repeat that for the 2 remaining pearls, and adding the last pearl. I still have a little bit of tail here, so I'm going to come through the center square of this unit, following the thread path through the 11, the bugle beads. It's also perfectly fine if you skip the 11s and just go through the bugle beads, just coming around. And then I'm going to knot my working thread and tail together. Come one more bead past the knot and trim off the tails. So now we have one of these little units complete. They're so cute. You could dangle it this direction for an earring. So I made a total of 3 units for the bracelet. You can do 3 or as many as you like. And I'm going to get out a little bit more of my fire line. Again, adding 36 inches to my needle, so I can attach these 3 together. So just starting with one of them, turning it over. I'm going to use this bottom left square of bugle beads, come through and attach my thread right here, and just make sure the thread's securely seated into the project, coming through a bugle bead, another one towards the center, coming through another bugle bead towards the outside edge, and just trimming off the tail. Then needle through the pearl that sits here between the 2 squares of bugle beads. Pick up 2 more bugle beads and needle back through the pearl. Come back up one of the bugle beads. Then add a size 11 between the 2 and back through the pearl. One more time through the bugle bead. This is going to be where we attach the clasp. So it doesn't hurt to retrace it, making sure it is nice and secure. Now coming out of the pearl, needle through the 11. And then it's easier to see on the back, I think. Come along the edge through the bugle bead and 11, and follow the thread path down here to the 11. So 1 bugle bead, the next 11 purl and 11, and then 1 more bugle bead and seed bead. We're going to be connecting these two together now. Just pick up a bugle bead, coming out of this 11, needle this direction through the next 11, bringing them together, come along the edge, and add another one, stepping into the size 11 at the end, and adding 1 more of the bugle beads, and follow along the edge until you get to this purl, needling down to the corner, and then through the bugle bead and seed bead, and the purl, and then make another one of these points over here, just like you did before, by adding the 2 bugle beads, coming through 1, adding a size 11, through the next one, and back through your purl. I'm going to retrace this and attach these sides as well. And then I'll open up these jump rings and attach it here on the bracelet. Pull up on the bead, and the bracelet will fit snug on your wrist. As always, I hope you have a beautiful day and fun on your next girlfriend's getaway.